Hey Rod, so it's been requested a little bit, but also I was thinking of making it anyway. I thought I'd make a video on zone training. So I'll talk a little bit about my experience with zone training. I first heard about zone training not long after I got into cycling. Well, cycling, more recent years, 2014. So I got the heart rate monitor initially, and I heard that training in different zones would yield different things. First of all, because obviously I was looking for weight loss at the time, so then I heard about zone 2 being good for weight loss, so I thought, well, that's what I'm after now, weight loss, so I'm going to stay in zone 2. So I straight away, I bought a heart rate monitor. I was just using the iPhone at the time with this app called Cyclists, which I still think I would still rate today. If you just have a iPhone versus a Garmin, I would definitely rate the app Cyclists. You can put a lot of data on it, you can connect power meters to it, etc. It's a very good app. I think I'll make a review on that as well. So yeah, I would say that, what am I talking about? Edit this out. I would definitely say, right, start here. I would definitely say that zone training is the best for fitness, weight loss, etc. So I've trained in zone 1, zone 2 rather, for a while now, mainly, when I was focusing on weight loss. Now I'm focusing on fitness. I'm using the different zones to train in different ways. So what I will say is, each person has their own different zones. So if you're training with power, which I would personally recommend, if you're training with power, I would say the first thing you need to do when you get a power meter is go out there and do an FTP test, which stands for Functional Threshold Power Test. So go out and do that. Google it, FTP test, FTP power test or whatever. Google it, find out how to do it. It's basically, you go for 20 minutes, your hardest that you can do for 20 minutes. So not 20 minutes and 10 seconds later you're, I can't do any more. It's basically sustainable for 20 minutes. And then at the end, and then let's say the last 5 minutes will be, you'll be clinging on. You'll be like, oh fuck, I'm so tired, and you'll be looking at every minute and you'll be like, oh, so tired, But then at the end of it, you'll get off the bike and you'll want to lie down, because it will be a limit, and the last 10 seconds will be, you'll be clawing on for dear life. So that's a functional threshold power test. I believe the test is very similar for the heart rate. You just do basically your maximum heart rate that you can sustain, and then find out the average. Same with the power, you find out the average. So if you are on like a Garmin or something, you will lap it when you get to this stage. So you'll ride along, because obviously you're not just going to walk out the house and do it. You want to find a straight road. You want to find a road that's very straight, such as, a road without traffic lights, a road without traffic, preferably not a hilly road that's up and down as well, because especially down, because it's hard to get the power on the way down. It's also dangerous as well if you're going too fast. I would say on the hills as well, it's tricky because different rules apply for the hills, to be fair. So I would definitely say that do the functional threshold power test, then you'll know your power. So I'll actually link a description on how to do the functional threshold power test. But yes, training in zones for whatever your goals, whether it's fitness, weight loss, is an absolute game changer. It will totally change the game for you. Doing intervals, rather than just saying, oh, I'm doing an interval where I'm going hard. How hard are you going? How long are you going for? What percentage of your FTP is it, etc. So you need to work out your zones, and then you need to stick to your zone. So I will do a ride now where I'll stick to a zone. So I'll be sticking in zone 2, I'll be sticking in zone 3, I'll be sticking in sweet spot, etc. Sweet spot is between zone 3 and 4. You can work it out, using the calculators online. So once you do have your threshold power, what you'll do is, let's say your power's, 250 watts for 20 minutes, you will then 95% of it, and then that gives you power for the hour. So whatever 95% of 250 watts is, you will maybe 240 or whatever it is. So you would be like 240 for the hour, and then you'll know then you can ride along and you can pace yourself upon that. But then most importantly, you can work out your zones. So for example, for me, my power test, I haven't done the power test yet, but based on my most recent data, my power is around 300 to 310. So I've just done it on the lower figure for now, 300, and that gives me up to 165 for zone 1, I think up to 210 for zone 2, and I think up to 250 for zone 3. And then obviously anything else is zone 4, and then depending on whether you use the other zones or not, etc. So that's how it is. I would definitely say if you have a power meter, get zone training, otherwise you're misusing the power meter essentially. I guess for the first week or so, you know, with the power meter, you could be like, yeah, I'll do whatever. And like I said, it applies for heart rate as well. So heart rate, you will have numbers. So for me, my zone 2's like, I think like 135, 140, something like that. I haven't actually done a heart rate test because I don't use heart rate anymore. But yeah, zone training is definitely a game changer. I'll show you online now how to do how to check out your zones and how to look them up on Strava. So here we have some rides that I did all this the month of October. So we'll do this one. This is zone 2 and zone 3, so we can both see. So if we go on to see the premium section, so if you don't have the premium, you won't really be able to look at the zone training properly unless you have another format. So here we have, you see the zones, the different zones. So my zone 1 is 1 to 168, zone 2, 169 to 229. I've kind of just rounded it off to 170, and then 170 to 230, 230 to 275. So now, yeah, so zone 3 and zone 2. So yeah, so basically you'll just type it in. So you'll go to profile, no, not profile, settings, I think. And then yeah, so my performance, and then just put your functional threshold power. So yeah, and then ideally do it 6 to 8 weeks. So I put the 306 watts in, and then it calculated it. Of course, this is if you're in Strava. There's other ways if you use Training Peaks. There's other ways, etc. So then yeah, and then it gives you your. So if we just go back, shit, and again. So yeah, I mean, it just basically gives you your zones. So then on your Garmin, you can program your zones, etc. And then each ride, you can see what zones you're in. Obviously, you're always going to be in a little bit in the higher zones, and you're always going to be in the lower zones. But predominantly, you know, you want to, obviously, if you are zone training, stick to your zones. So I'll talk more about an FTP test in another video. So yeah, this is zone training. Each zone does a different thing. You notice they've got different names. So you've got active recovery, endurance, tempo, threshold, VO2 max, anaerobic, neuromuscular. Each do different things. I'm not going to go fully into depth on that. You can obviously look them up on Google, etc. So anyway, hope you found this video helpful. This video was requested, so just a little bit information about it. Yeah, all my power meter data and stuff's available online if you want to see it. Anyway, you know, I'm transparent. So yeah, hope you like the video. See you in the next video, everyone.